What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul. Episode 71, the Comic Book Conservation Live Show. We are rocking a guest host tonight. I'm so excited for the show. I'm so excited. Chat's already full. We're blowing up. I had a great week. I'm looking forward to another one. How are y'all?
Terrific. I love that intro song, man. That bass line, so funky.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this. My daughter and her friend wrote that and recorded it. Yeah,
you told me about
that's her on the bass. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's great because we've heard it so many times now. It is very, it's saying that she's back in there, so you know how it's gonna go, and it is very like, oh, that's familiar. I like
Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's actually, I took that 30 seconds from a longer. They actually, and I think they did 90 seconds for me total.
Oh wow!
So that's just kind of like the first.
You gotta release the whole thing on Spotify, man.
Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking.
Yeah.
So obviously we have Jason, the Archivist Adrift, with us. We have Phil from Phantom Restoration, our regular co-host. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a little bit awkward when we have a guest because I want to kind of introduce the guest, but I also want to say, hey, what's up, Phil? And you know what I'm thinking? We should keep the guest like backstage. We should say hi and then bring them on. Because otherwise there's this thing like the guest should go first, but it's odd to have just the guest jump in.
We're so lucky though. It's like Jason's just there. Beforehand with us talking, so it's just. But I see what you're saying. Part of the dynamic and how it works.
Well, I've also been toying with the idea of doing like the cold start. You know, sort of like I've been listening to some podcasts that do this, where they just start the show, but they don't really start the show. They're just chatting.
Oh yeah,
and then they're chatting for a while, and then they go, "Okay, let's start the show," and then we would do the music, right?
That's very comfortable.
We could do that. We could do that. That cold start too. So I don't know. Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The live show does that. That's a show with Chonko and Big Nasty Comics. They do that.
Ah, okay. Yeah. You know, I listen to a lot of financial podcasts, and the one that I've been listening to that does that is the Compound and Friends, which I really enjoy. And that's where I got the idea from personally.
Yeah,
but,
that's great.
Hey, here we are. Let's do this again awkwardly. But Phil, how are you? I'll pretend we don't have a guest right now. How are you? How was your week, man? How could people get a hold of you?
Hey, Phil coming to you live from New York City, as always. Somewhere maybe up in Grandma May's attic or basement, or who knows. You can find me on Instagram at Phantom Restoration, or at that lovely website right beneath my name there, and you can send me a message. If you're waiting on a message, I got like 10 right now that I got to get back to in the last day or two. So I know you're there, and as always, I like to take this as I can't escape comics. This is my home office. I work where I live and live where I work. But I always like Sunday night because it is I try my best to tune my brain out and just chat comics with you, lovely gentlemen. And Jason, it's great to have you be one of those guys here tonight. And
thank you.
Looking forward to hearing your origin and everything.
I'm so honored. Yeah.
What a segue. What a segue. Great to have you. We teased it. We have the Archivist Adrift. He's going to try to not make me spit milk out of my nose tonight, but he makes me laugh at least once every episode. So we'll see if we get some chuckles in this episode.
I got more time when I'm off video, so it's a little easier.
We could just wait until I'm doing.
There you go.
Remember you did that in lunch? You'd wait till your friend was about to take a sip of their Coke and try to make it come out of their nose. Yeah. Well, it's great to have you on. I know I reached out to you. You've really grown your channel. You've really grown your skill set. It's become very impressive. I've really enjoyed it. I enjoy your style as well. And so it resonates with me. And I reached out to you to say, hey, let's do something together. Let's collaborate. Let's have you on the channel. And you said, no, I can't. Yeah. Because I'm saving myself.
Well, this is the channel for me. This is like the big one. And I wanted to I wanted to get some books out to CGC and get them back because I had to get over the mental feel that, am I doing something? Am I doing this right? Is this, and I needed the approval. And then I kind of didn't want to feel like a fraud, So
craves approval. Okay. Got it. Check.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome check. I'm there. I get it.
Well, I'm glad that you sent the books off. I'm thrilled at the outcome, and we're going to touch on it a little bit in the show today. But if you haven't checked out the channel, Jason did a really heartfelt unboxing where he talked about, and he didn't know the grades ahead of time,
right?
And he talked about his anxieties about the grades and what he was hoping for and what he got. I thought it was really personable and also very interesting. So please check out, we have a link to his channel in the description. Check that out if you haven't already. Don't do it right now. Wait till the show is over. And we're going to talk about some of that in the show as well. So because we have a guest, welcome, Jason. And it's an honor to have you here. It's really, I've been looking forward to it for some time. Because we have a guest, we're going to do our normal guest when we have a guest host we've never had on before. We're going to do more or less 2 parts. We do the origin story, which is always so much fun. And then we'll probably do a little bit of housekeeping. And then we'll jump into some projects that you have already completed and some projects that you have ongoing. And I think that'll be fun as well. And we'll talk approach and technique and all kind of other stuff. I will do just one housekeeping thing here now before we say hi to everybody. I will say Shelby is doing better. He is back home. He's been discharged. He is still not 100%. So I know he will appreciate everybody's well wishes, reach outs, and prayers if you're so inclined, that sort of thing. So please keep him in your thoughts. And we're glad that he's home. We're glad that he's been discharged, but he has a little recovery yet to go before he's 100%. With that, let's say hi to the folks that are checked in. We have this show's sponsors, which are Don Carter, AG, Salesboy Comics, and You Pluck My Last Nerve. Thank you all for your generous support of this show. If you're watching the show right now, live without ads, it's thanks to these 4 fellas. So please give them a thank you. Go check out their channels, sub to their channels, like their videos, like this video while you're at it. Thank you, gentlemen. Rom Space Knight is here. What's up? My buddy Mike. Hey. Collecting Chaos is here. Kelly LeBrock looks so good in that movie. Weird science.
Weird science.
Weird science is what he's talking about. Morris Devereaux. What's up? Jeff Goodsell is here. Salesboy is here. Vulu's here. Welcome. Ram says, thank you to all the sponsors. Collecting Chaos with a super sticker. Next episode is on Collecting Chaos. Thank you so much. Go check out his channel. If you're not already subbed, you should be. Very fun. Salesboy. Thank you so much. Here with the Moist Squad. Appreciate you. Appreciate the super chat. And You Pluck My Last Nerve is here. Don Carter's here. New Row Comics is here. The Kilted Corgi is back. Welcome. And with that, I think we should jump in. What do you guys think?
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. So you may have heard that we used some AI image generation.
No, that's real. That happened.
And I will say the overwhelming response was support, but we did have a few people really twisted about that. Now I know that you're an artist and you airbrushed this in your spare time.
That's right. Yeah.
So we're not concerned about that at all. but I will let you drive. Just let me know when you want to go next slide. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to tell us here about this ravishing.
No. Yeah, no, unfortunately it was AI. I admit it, but yeah, no.
This is you and
there's always a woman in red, in those golden age books. So yeah, you had to have
perfect.
That.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I was born in 1975 in Lima, Ohio. I was born into a Jesus freak hippie cult called the Way Ministry. They were located in New Knoxville, Ohio, not far from here, actually. And the Way was, like I said, they had their own music ministry. So they had like a sound studio and all that, and they would put out rock albums. So they had bands like Selah, who are actually kind of not big, but big in the Jesus freak world. They had Press Down, Shaken Together, and they also had they had a few other bands. But yeah, so we were in the Way in when I was born, and then in 77, my brother was born, my best friend, and then in 1978. The Way sent my family WOW, which is a Word Over the World. It was their kind of their missionary thing.
Sure.
And every year they would have what's called this major festival called Rock of Ages, and thousands of people there. And they would send the WOW believers, the WOW ambassadors, to different states. Pretty much chosen at random, I think. Mm-hmm. And we were given nothing. We were just told to go. And my parents packed up a car and whatever few belongings we had. And they gave us enough. They set us up with some Way believers who lived in Rhode Island, which is where they sent us. And so we stayed with them for a few months until my dad could land a job and get an apartment and all that good stuff. So we originally were in Central Falls, Rhode Island, which if you talk about Rhode Island is not a great neighborhood, even back in 78, probably more so in 78. And then,
actually, I think that's true, more so in 78.
Yeah, probably so.
Central Falls, you're fine.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead to the next slide there.
I lived in Rhode Island for almost 2 years.
Yeah. Where'd you live?
Well, I actually lived in a tiny village called Mansville, but it was about 30 minutes north of Providence, and it was just south of Pawtucket, actually.
Okay. Well, Pawtucket is where we ended up. And if you might know Pawtucket from Family Guy. They make fun of it quite a bit without people maybe realizing. They drink Pawtucket Pat beer, and in the early episodes, I don't really watch a lot of Family Guy anymore, but I think I'll watch the first few episodes anyway, or seasons anyways. He worked at Hasbro, like a toy factory. But that's basically Hasbro. Hasbro's got their main company or main factory in Pawtucket.
World headquarters is there.
Yep. I just read actually when I was doing this that they're planning on moving to Boston. So
bummer.
That didn't happen. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody remembers Necco candies.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like our age and they remember those Necco candies, right?
Yeah.
New England Confectionaires Company, also right there.
No wonder they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So, didn't know that. Okay. We lived in Pawtucket. My dad was a cider and a roofer.
Plenty of work in Rhode Island if you do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The homes need to be re-sided and re-roofed like every few years.
Absolutely. And they side everything. So, a lot of the neighborhoods were mostly Puerto Rican, Portuguese, and Irish. So on the side, my dad's a fine artist, and so he would do that on the side. And then my mom was a housemaker, but she just I think she just has a heart for people. She's got a very big and charismatic spirit about her. And so we would kind of attract stray people wherever they were at in their walk of life, usually single women who had children or something like that.
Mhm.
And whatever, it didn't matter if we lived in an apartment or where we lived, there was always a space in our house for them. We, if we had to cram, us 2 kids in one room and give them a room or whatever it took. So over time, eventually my mother became a certified a pastoral counselor. And so that's kind of what it was like growing up with my folks. So if you want to go to the next slide
Do you still have a hankering for quahog?
No, not necessarily.
All right.
No. And then, so one of the rituals that we would go through every week with my dad as an artist, he couldn't afford art supplies very well. So we would go down to Rhode Island School of Design, and which is their art school.
RISD.
RISD.
Known as RISD locally, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Brown University, that same area. So he'd take us to the park, Hope Street Park, and then we go down there, and then we go to those universities, and then he would flip us into the dumpsters out back, so we could go dumpster diving.
Sure.
And he'd just be like, pull out the canvas, pull out the frames, any brushes you see down there. And so we did that, and then to reward us, he'd take us to any kind of water fountain around there, and tell us, okay, jump in, grab all the silver coins out of there, and then I'll treat you to ice cream. So that was a Friday ritual for us, or our Saturday, our weekend ritual at least. And then we'd hit the gallery.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, it was a blast as a kid. It was just fun. My dad wasn't really a sports guy, so instead of tossing the football, this is what dad time.
You toss the kid in the fountain.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
And so he would also take us gallery hopping. So we'd go to these, and this is the early mid '80s. New wavers, what we consider hipsters today, I guess, all over the place, punk rockers, skinheads, all kinds of crazy folk all out there. And then he'd take us to these galleries. This is, of course, where Talking Heads is from. So, that whole crowd was out there. And so I remember one time going into a gallery, and some punk rock chick, like, oh, you guys are so adorable, and pinching our cheeks, then playing like electronic saxophone, in the corner, and very, very weird stuff. But there was a Brown bookstore, which is a huge bookstore near Brown University. And my dad would go witnessing because we were still wows. We were still in the way. And he would go witnessing to people, like evangelizing. And I would go over and read whatever comic-y type books were in Brown University's bookstore. And that was like Life in Hell by Matt Groening, and Zippy, Bill Griffith's Zippy. And then, but as far as, and so that was kind of my first exposure, I would say, to like comic-y type stuff, was this weird alternative comic stuff, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. And then
it's a great scene down there. I was there early in the aughts. And I was not far from Brown at all. I was in Richmond Square is where I was working, and drove through RISD and Brown's campus to get to work as part of my commute every day. For those of you that don't know, Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, was actually a student at RISD. So he may have been a student there while you were dumpster diving. Like some of those might have been his cast off material.
That's very likely. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild?
That would be.
Remember the show Providence?
Was that it was hospital like a show or something?
Yeah, I think it was some kind of hospital type, sort of a Grey's Anatomy type knockoff. Yeah. And they had those helicopter shots of the downtown with the canal and everything that had just been renovated. And they really cleaned the city up right around 2000, and it was just beautiful. That opening scene where they just cruise around the downtown canals and everything, that was where I basically, went to work every day. It was really nice, actually.
When I was down there, so my dad would take us he would take us into the art schools and pretend that pretend that he was a student, I guess. And so we would actually just we would go into classrooms while they were painting, or we would go into. I remember going to like they had these weird clubs where you'd climb the stairs and there'd be graffiti all over the walls, and it was just a very 80s environment. There's nothing. It's hard to explain like that late 70s, early 80s crossover where everything was just kind of graffiti sprawled and very artsy. Yeah. So anyhow, it just a lot of great memories, and I wish I could go back to that time period. But going into collecting, as far as collecting though, I wasn't into comics. I didn't really understand. Maybe my parents weren't allowing us to get into comics because of the way. I don't know, but I did collect. I collected stickers. I think first that's something that I think every kid collects initially.
Our age, yeah.
Yep. And then of course, eventually it was Garbage Pail Kid cards. And then I mentioned here, I think I collected nearly the complete worthless set of 1987 Topps, the wood grain cards. I don't know if you guys remember those.
What was the big rookie card that year in '87?
Maybe Griffith or no, I don't remember.
So I had this same experience. It was 84 though for me.
Okay.
Literally born in 72, so it tracks almost perfectly.
Yeah.
And the 84 set, the card you wanted was Dwight Gooden.
Okay.
You know, Darryl Strawberry was there too, but it was Dwight Gooden was the one at the time you wanted.
Was 85 like Johnny Bench or something like that? Or I see, I'm not a baseball guy, but I just remember like certain names were big at the time.
I remember the
Bench was already old by then.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that shows how much.
All right.
Sports.
Next.
Yeah, I collected baseball cards, but I never watched baseball, so that was
it was just a thing, right?
Yeah,
at that time. Yeah, like your uncle got you into it or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then of course, cartoons. I was into Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Absolutely, 100%. That was my show. The Incredible Hulk. My mom actually stopped letting us watch that because we would run around the house roaring and trying to tear our shirts off and things like that. So she wasn't too happy with that. The Superman movie had come out in 78, I think, 78. And so, of course, we were huge into Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, in syndication, Super Friends, all that good stuff, you know.
Sure.
Again, not into comic books. I at some point I acquired a number of the Secret Wars toys, which I thought were really pretty badass. And then
they were better than the limited series.
I mean, they're actually really nice. And every time I look at them, I'm like, I should pick some up. I'm like, I don't need them, but yeah. Then I see the prices on eBay. And I'm like, I don't need them. I can always buy a comic book. And then I was into Mad Magazine, but the Way had their own kind of Mad Magazine. It was called Glad Magazine. It was a parody on Mad, and yeah, it was unusual. Actually, there are some. It's not great, but it wasn't bad either.
Were you a contributor?
No. And then finally,
that's a great cover with ET. I really like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the mirror or the Infinity cover. Yeah. And then finally, about in '87, I was just thinking about this recently. I did acquire a couple of comic books, and I don't know how or why, but I think maybe a plane trip or a train trip or something like that. And my mom was at the.
These were good random ones to pick up.
Yeah. So of course,
part 5 of Kraven the Hunter series,
right? Yeah, and this comic, the Web of Spider-Man one. I don't know if you guys ever read that one, but basically, I think it's like maybe a Job parallel, but essentially, the Watcher has a Job, the book of the Bible is what I mean. But the Watcher has a wager with this guy, this bad guy who's trapped him somehow. That Spider-Man will win a game of football without cheating or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of it was a one-off, but it was kind of clever actually. So next slide if you want to go to that.
Thanks, Phil.
So then around 87, 88, around there, my cousins, they every year we would every summer when school was out, we'd visit family. And my mom's folks are here in Lima, but then my father's folks are from New Haven, which is right outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And there's a old Fondero farm that goes back to 1840s or something like that. And
so your beard and your hat are period correct to the family.
Probably, yeah. And my cousins live next door, and so every summer we'd go visit them and hang out. Usually we'd be swimming around in the barn or something like that. But one year I went into their basement and they had long boxes of comics. I had never seen a long box before, and I was like, what is that? And they pulled them out, and they had Simonson's Thor run and Claremont and Burns' X-Men run. They had an Excalibur, and they were really big into long shot for some reason, which great,
because it was excellent.
Yeah, for sure. And so my brother wasn't impressed at all. He didn't care, but I was blown away. I was like, wow,
wasn't Longshot the first hero with a mullet?
Probably pretty close.
Superman was copying him within a few years.
Yeah, well, a couple of years later, yeah. Wasn't there like
Art Adams?
I feel that there's a female somebody or other who had a mullet as well, but yeah.
These are great. I mean, these are the ones to get you hooked if something's going to get you hooked.
Absolutely.
Right? Like Simonson.
Yep. That artwork and
say that Kirby and Lee on Thor was the zenith, but for my money, Simonson built on all that and just mostly did it better.
I don't think, honestly, after this era, I don't think, this is just me personally.
Kirby on FF,
this is the end of the great comic era. Once we get into the extreme stuff, everything starts going south, in my opinion. But and maybe that's nostalgia too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, get off my lawn. Yeah. But for my dollar, also, I've said it before, but the Claremont's run on X-Men is just unreal, and I'm especially fond of the Byrne collaboration there.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, so anybody exposed to this is probably hooked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
And then around 88, 89, my family actually eventually left the way. The way was beginning to break up anyways. Too much weird stuff was going on with the leadership, and it was getting exposed. And we all kind of moved into little O orthodoxy. Big O orthodoxy would be like, Eastern Orthodox or whatever. But we moved into, more traditional Christianity. And individually, I think we all kind of discovered Christianity on our own terms, I would say, in a sense. So if you want to go to the next slide. Yeah.
Sorry,
no, you're on this side. Okay.
Trigger happy there, sir.
Inspired by my cousins, I think the first the first comic I picked up was ASM 325. I actually don't like that cover because his head looks really weird. Like it's a little too long or something, but whatever.
It's a lot of teeth.
They threw anatomy out, and it was this period when they just threw anatomy out the window.
Yeah,
right?
I still love Todd McFarlane, but when I look at, and he was, I think, the best of the extreme guys, or the that whole
like Liefeld's pockets.
Not so much,
No.
I loved Sam Keith in this era. I mean, I loved Sam Keith, but when I look at his work now, I think what was great about their artwork was that it was so against the status quo. When you looked at, especially comics in the 80s, there was a stiffness that was really borrowing from, I think, John Romita, and like a formalism.
It was all like how to draw comics the Marvel way, right?
Yeah.
It was John Buscema ostensibly, but it was really the Kirby way, right?
But Kirby was
Lee was like, listen, John, you have to be Kirby. Yeah. Listen, John Buscema, you have to be Kirby. Listen, John Romita, you have to be Kirby, right? and
they couldn't do Kirby. They I mean, they did their own thing, but like
sure, of course. And I'm
Kirby
not
is stylized,
but I'm saying like the
and,
Marvel house style became, and DC already had a style which was frankly was worse.
Right.
And so,
so
these artists like John Byrne, like Art Adams, and then later McFarlane, Keith, etc., that did their own thing were remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably a good time to get into comics as a kid, seeing that kind of the passing of the torch kind of thing, of this style. But again, looking back, I so appreciate that Marvel style now. I appreciate the anatomy. I appreciate the use of contrast and of composition and all that. You don't really get great composition with a lot of these the more modern, the extreme guys. I call them extreme because it was all extreme, in the late 80s and the early 90s.
Are you saying that, like, at the time it didn't do anything for you?
No, at the time it did do something for me. I was really into it at the time. I was blown away at the time because it seemed so new and fresh. It's now, at the age of nearly 50, I'm looking back and thinking, this wasn't good. But my favorite artists were definitely, like I said, Sam Keith, Barry Windsor Smith. He was at the top, for me. Moebius, of course, Jean Girard, and then there's young, angry-looking me with a mullet.
I thought that was live action Longshot.
That's right.
Could have been cast, but
who wore it better? Somebody put that next to Longshot for us. Where's Rocket Rita?
Rocket Rita. I don't remember
That's his love interest in Longshot.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I didn't really read a whole lot of Longshot.
It's a deep cut. I think one of the things about McFarlane is that he started so young in the industry and he evolved in front of our eyes, right?
Yeah.
So, like, go back and read Infinity Inc., where he started, right?
Yeah.
And then you see him on ASM, still evolving. And then when you see him on Spider-Man, I think he's pretty mature. And I think Spider-Man is kind of pinnacle in terms of what he did mainstream, of course, before Image. Yeah. Although I think his work on the Hulk was really good.
Yeah, I agree. Liefeld was younger, I think, even, but his art, even at that time period, his art didn't appeal to me. I didn't dislike it. I just didn't collect it, So
I think the writing was quite good when he was on X-Force and those books, and I was enjoying them. Frankly, despite his art, but and I don't think he ever evolved the way McFarlane did. For me, he's not in the same.
Almost the opposite for me when McFarlane took over. When he did Spider-Man, I remember reading the letters pages, and people were just so like McFarlane, just do the art and let someone else write. Your writing is terrible. And comment after comment. And I remember enjoying it.
To his credit, he dropped the writing pretty quickly. He did accept that criticism. I think even in Spawn, by issue 9, he wasn't writing Spawn anymore. His own creation, right?
Well, that's probably for the best.
So he did take that criticism to heart.
Next slide here. Yeah, so here's me and some of my pals hanging out. I was always drawing. I had aspirations, I guess, of becoming a comic artist. I think every kid who starts collecting comics thinks, I can do this. I could write. I can draw. And then the local comic shop. Actually, we moved back. By the way, after we left the way, we moved back to Lima, Ohio. And so I had 10 years in Rhode Island, and then back to Lima.
Formative years, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so, the local comic shop let me hang my art in the walls, so that felt kind of cool, to see, And your average kind of comic book shop seller, though, very, very comic book guy, kind of, but man of a few words, but anyhow, good guy.
That's good.
In high school, I really started getting into the beat poets and really into punk rock. And the scene here in Lima was kind of like so there's different variations of punk rock. This wasn't your, Green Day pop punk stuff. It was anarcho punk and like dirty squatter punk, hardcore, crust punk, that kind of stuff, And so I got into kind of with that crowd quite a bit. Started going to a lot of shows and that kind of thing. And then I worked at a number of, a couple of, I think 2 or 3 record shops. One was an actual vinyl record shop. It was an old hippie who lived in a town over. He had a shop called Mind Dust Music. And so I would collect vinyl. That was the next probably thing I would collect after comic books was vinyl. And I tried to get into collecting posters as well, especially 60s psychedelia posters.
Sure.
Mouse and Kelly, Rick Griffith, all
huge
those.
now.
Yeah. And I really wish I had gotten more into that. I had got a couple of posters, but I was a kid and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't have any place to hang them or do anything with them or frame them. And so, anyhow. So then I was, again, reading the beats, got really into Jack Kerouac and Ginsberg and all those crazy guys, and kind of was in my head to do my own like on the road sort of thing where I was going to travel the US and that kind of thing. I ended up moving back to New Hampshire after high school by myself. I stayed with my parents' friends for a couple of years, and that didn't really work out. So then I came back home, was doing factory jobs, doing construction, poured concrete for one summer and only one summer. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Some of the factories I worked in were toxic. I can't believe that they even exist. Like one was a steel drum repaint place where they had like half the shop outside and half inside, and they would flame out all the old paint and poisons and all the chemicals out of them, and then your job was to put them back up and let all the fumes pouring in your face. I worked at a pork rind factory. That was terrible. You don't want to know what's in your pork rinds. So after all that, I kept on telling my folks, maybe I should. My folks, of course, they didn't have any money, and so I thought, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get into college. Wanted to get the GI Bill, and by joining the military and all that good stuff. And I kept on telling my dad I would do it. He's like, you keep on saying it, you're never going to do it. And one night I was watching Starship Troopers.
Sure.
and it's a parody of the military-industrial complex and propaganda, and it's completely in your face. And I realized it, and I knew it, but at the same time, I was like, this is pretty badass. I could do this, So it had an opposite effect on me. And
did they have co-ed showers like in Starship?
Yeah. It was
in the
just
Air Force.
like that.
That seems great.
That's why I joined the Air Force. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Army wasn't going to do that. Now
You did it, man.
No, unfortunately, that was not the case. So yeah, I did join the Air Force in '99, and So
would you like to learn more?
Yeah, would you like to? That's right. I did my part. So I was stationed mostly in Germany. I did about 9 months in Montana, which was not for me. But spent most of the time in Germany, mostly hanging out in goth clubs and things like that.
I was gonna say, like,
what was the base in Germany?
I was in I was at Rammstein.
Yeah,
my parents were at Spain Dahlem.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In like 15 years
Rammstein
before.
is like in the Black Forest, yeah.
It's
or adjacent.
It was just south of the Black Forest. Yeah. It was. I mean, castles everywhere. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, it's wonderful. I love it. So then after the military,
there's a good goth and punk scene there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely for sure. The goth scene was at its height probably when I was there. I remember going to all these weird clubs that were like just, from the, built in the 17th century or 19th century or something like that. And you walk into these grottos, and there's like, all this goth music playing. It was wonderful. I loved it, man. In fact, and there was a lot of the big rave scene as well. I remember going to a Subway one time, and there was a big rave club in the subway tunnel itself. I remember going to a factory, and there was a big goth concert. So it was a really, really cool scene. So then, after getting out of Germany, I went to OSU, Ohio State, and I majored in I wanted to major in archaeology. Spent a couple of years at OSU, but then I realized that, as I say here, I wasn't going to be able to find the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail. It was mostly teaching jobs. That's pretty much what you do as an archaeologist. And so there wasn't much of a career there.
A lot of them, I mean, if they even spend the summer in the field, it's remarkable. Right?
Yeah. The one in the U.S., the big archaeology area is, I guess, for oil fields in your neck of the woods, where apparently they have to, if they're doing any kind of drilling, they have to call out a team to make sure everything, there's no old Pueblo kind of thing going on or whatever.
That's industry. That's industry for archaeology. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But I still have a strong passion for ancient history, especially the Greek and Roman era and the early Christian church. So around this time, also, actually, even before I left the military, comic books were just not where it was at. The whole image thing had taken comic books in a different direction. And the last book I was collecting was Straczynski's Spider-Man run, Amazing Spider-Man run, and it sucked. And I just wasn't into it anymore. I just didn't have the heart for it anymore. So I every now and then I would grab a book. There was a series, an indie series called Berlin I was really into. But it was fleeting. And then, so I was considering art school. But my cousin, he was in IT and he was doing pretty well for himself, and he wasn't struggling. And he was like, if you take a couple of courses in IT and, get a job doing, just basic help desk kind of stuff, that I'll get you into my company. And so I did that and kind of pursued a career in that field. And that's kind of like, life is kind of, you can plan for it sometimes, but sometimes it just takes you where it takes you, So
as long as you're open to the opportunities.
Absolutely. What was that Beatles saying? What is that? Life is I can't remember. It'll come to me after the show. But anyways, so around 2019, I was buying my first house, and I'd been dragging long boxes around for I don't know, like 20 years or something like that. I'm like, what? I'm done with this. It was fun, but whatever. So I just took them down to Goodwill and dropped them off. And I kept a small stack of books that I kind of really, liked. And inside that stack was, this Secret Wars 8, ASM 252, and a couple of other books here and there. In fact, I actually found a binder full of old Wolverine books recently. So, there's my house there. So
nice.
Don't be looking me up or nothing, all right?
Location.
Yeah, exactly. I just told you it's in Lima. So, so then COVID happened, and I got furloughed, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and Whatnot had come out, I think, and started looking at eBay, and the bug hit me again. And if you want to go to the next slide here. Yeah, so I started picking up Silver Age. Bad time to pick up Silver Age, let me tell you. I started collecting Silver Age, and just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. And then I realized that people were pressing. Now I had kind of heard that people were slabbing books. I mean, I was still somewhat in the grapevine to know that, but I heard that people were pressing books to get higher condition, and I was like, wow, okay, you can do that. That's pretty wild. That's great.
Right.
So some of these books I'd been buying off of eBay for premium prices, but seemed like deals at the time. Trust me. I sent into a very reputable presser, and this is at the height of the bubble. And this poor guy, I'm sure, was, flooded with books, and I had him go ahead and send them to CGC after he was done pressing them. And when I got them back, the grades were terrible. I mean, I looked at them recently again, and they're not very well pressed.
Like below your expectations, or like the work wasn't done well?
Yes, both. The work wasn't done very well, and it was below my expectations.
Gotcha. I only say that just because of the natural learning curve for grading. Like I remember when I first started, I was like, "This is a 9.8 to every book," and it's like, "Yeah, this is a 5.5," and I'm like,
"No, it was sincerely, honestly, yeah." I got a book back. Should have been probably mid 8s. Came back as a 6. So yeah, it wasn't just CGC or my understanding of. Yeah, gotcha. Because I was the same way too for many years. But yeah, even recently looking at those books, very, very sad condition. But just kept on hanging with it for a little bit. Not buying books regularly, but often enough, I suppose. Then I found a YouTube channel, Baumgartner Restoration, and he is a fine artist who restores oil paintings, and I loved it. I just fell in love with it. I love the sense of bringing order to chaos. I love the sense of taking something that's broken and bringing it back to life again. And this is my world. This is ancient history. This is, maybe not ancient history, but it's history. It's art. It's all the things. It caught me. And then one day, somewhere, somehow, I discovered Jerry the Jitterbug, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all my passions combined. This is the restoration. This is, conservation now that I know, but restoration. This is art. This is comics. This is history. He's working on golden age books. You can afford golden age books and not be a millionaire. Like
half a tank of gas.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. And I was just utter blown, but I didn't think I could do it. I would binge his channel and just watch it and think, wow, this is amazing.
When was this? What year was this that you?
This was probably, I would say only about maybe 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, not that long ago. It's still probably right. I want to say at the beginning of his channel, but some ways in. And so yeah, I binged it. And then I'm like, are there other people doing this? And that's when I found Dr. Paul's. Yeah, that's when I found your channel, Dr. Paul's channel, and your as I lay out here, your methodical, step-by-step sort of, and also academic and scientific approach really had an impression on me. And I was like, and then I found Larry's channel, and I found, of course, this live, of course, your stuff, Phil, and just down the rabbit hole, and I thought maybe I can do this, and and so here we are. I guess I can. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think the evolution in our hobby and in our corner of the hobby, our niche has just been incredible the last 5 years. To go from Bill Sorrell and Susan Ciccone, and then to Matt Nelson, and to Kenny Sanderson, and that took 20 years.
Yeah.
And then Jerry comes along and brought what he was doing to social media in a way that nobody else had really penetrated social media.
Yeah.
And we've just had kind of an explosion since, right? And
yeah.
I'm glad to have played some small role in that. I obviously I have my own approach to it, but I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. And
I think you're opening up the community through the Facebook page and eventually the book and all that really, and of course this live really opened that up for so many people. It went from Kenny Jerry doing it as sort of a almost entertainment, and you can also do this, to you making it more of a community kind of thing.
Can I ask? So I'm curious, because I know there was for a while before we were doing the live show, Paul, you were just putting out your own content and videos too for a couple years.
Or
at least a year, something.
Yeah,
so Jason, were you like watching Jerry's stuff, and then before you even found Paul's channel and Larry's channel, you were like, I'm confident I can kind of dive into this?
No, it wasn't really. I mean, yes, I was watching Jerry's stuff for a while, but it was just something I would just binge out. I would just read. Sometimes I
do passively.
And then it wasn't until I discovered Dr. Paul's channel that I realized, okay, there's something more to this,
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, we really tried to democratize it, and I think that's happening. And so, great. I think this is kind of the end of the origin story, right? And then we're going to go into some of your work.
Yeah.
I think this is a good moment for a pause. Appreciate everybody hanging with us. I really enjoyed that. I think
So just to be clear, then I guess I'm just curious in terms of timeline, because I know you just got some books back from CGC, but were those your very first books ever sent into CGC? So you wait. So what was your time frame from when you really first started to when you just got the books back from CGC? Clearly, your work has been of the quality of being able to send stuff into CGC before you just did, but I'm curious what that.
A little over a year and 3 months, something like that. Year and 4 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do we got? We got Don. I'd mentioned I have a 1910 Buffalo Bill Stories. Dr. Paul said I should at least deacidify it, and I got the bug.
I remember that. Actually, I remember that.
In the Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
John, welcome. Spider-Man comic was the first comic my mom ever bought me.
That's awesome.
Do you mean this ASM right here? What is that, ASM?
31, I think.
31. I almost said 31 and then I doubted myself.
Maybe it's 33. I don't know. I have both, so I can't remember.
It's 31.
Clarify for us, John. Do you mean that one, or do you mean the Spider-Man one by McFarlane? Hey, G, welcome.
Hey, G.
So let's just say if you enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up, like, sub, all that. 31, John, way to go.
All right.
Mom did a great job. I mean, Mom would have done a great job either way, but that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And let's jump into some of your
work. Gwen Stacy, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's jump into your work.
Sure.
And get more conservativity.
So this was one of the first books I worked on, and just did a dry clean on it. Aqueous, is it aqueous or aqueous? I always kind of
tomato.
Yeah, okay. Kind of like Archivist and Archivist, or.
What do you say?
Both actually. So.
Oh yeah, I say Archivist.
That's fine.
I say aqueous, but I wouldn't raise an eyebrow if someone said aqueous.
Okay.
Right?
Fair.
Aqua?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Agua, yeah.
Paul, you made a comment last week to me about Phil is his, you know, his normal lively self, and I was like, man. I was like, you know,
because I bring energy at the open there, and then you were like, hey guys.
I don't mean to be like that, but
I like it. I love the yin yang.
We don't have to have the same energy. Yeah.
I like it. I also like at the very end of the show where everyone will say their goodbyes. And at the very, very last second, Phil will be like, bye.
Yeah. I love
that. It's like, I always look forward to it.
Yeah. And I feel like that, like he and Shelby, they're not really sure if they're supposed to do that. Like if I had the official sign off. So I've actually like encouraged them because I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that I like is, and we're starting with the first book here, but it's a theme through the rest of the work that you're going to show us. I think a big part of conservation is picking good projects. Mm-hmm. And I want to say my hat's off, my hair's off, everything's off to you. The subject matter that you chose to work on has really been phenomenal to me, especially because as you mentioned earlier, you're doing this on a budget, right? Yeah. And to be able to find some of these books that really are phenomenal, but are under the major collector's radar, that you can pick up at a reasonable price is, to me, chef's kiss for the conservation.
Thank you.
Speaking of chef's kiss, you plucked my last nerve. Thank you so much for the super chat here. It says, at Salesboy, your next video upload should be titled Wet Dreams.
I've noticed.
Don't encourage him.
Wet Dreams 2, the moistening.
Both of you, Larry, Jerry, Don Carter, and others that I haven't mentioned, really like great candidates. Like to have worked on, and specifically though, like in a separate tier, just because I think I'm biased in the books that I select. Larry and Jason, I see a lot of your posts where I'm like, it just brings me back to when I first started doing this, and I was like, those are all books that I'd be like, oh, this was only that, and I would have grabbed it. So I'm just like I'm like, yep, I get it. I see exactly where your brain is.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you pick up on that because I was you know, I think early on when I went into this, I was thinking, okay, well, I should bust out all these books that I don't really care about because I got to get the experience underneath my feet or whatever. And I tried that. I tried a couple of different comics, and I just felt like if I wasn't passionate about the book, I just couldn't bring myself to continue to work on it.
Sure.
And so that's if I and also looking for the book that calls to be conserved in a sense,
but that said, you can still get books that are relatively cheap that fit that criteria. I mean,
that's
so that way you're excited to still work on it. It's not just
this was a $3 book.
That is a crucial part.
Yeah, for sure. And I the artist is Sam Gansman, and I didn't really know anything about him until I started working on this book. And that's one of the things I love about this hobby that we're in is that we discover these artists almost intimately because we're seeing things about them that we're studying the books and we're seeing them in a different way than other people are, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. When you read the book, you might glance at the cover, you might look at it for a little while before you open it and start reading. Right. But when you work on this cover, you spend a lot of time with this art, and you tend to just appreciate it a lot more. Great job on this book. I really like how much whiter the whites are here.
Yeah,
big difference. Yeah. But the whole book is obviously considerably improved.
So what was done here?
Yeah, a dry clean, an aqueous bath. I pulled it apart. I did tear seals, and then a hot press. Really, that was pretty much it.
Nice. Just the cover, or the cover and interior too?
Cover and interiors.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Next.
Congratulations! You plucked my last nerve. Man after my own heart.
So I don't know if you guys remember this one. This was a Carl Barks pre-Disney thing that he did. It was for it's an adult magazine, and it's called the something like the Ottawa Eye Opener or something like that. And this, I think it's dated to like 1930 31 or 29, something around there. So it's platinum age. And I just wanted to test my hands out at not just Archivist bath, but photo bleaching. And so this is kind of the first kind of book I did that with.
Beautiful.
That's good.
And a real treasure. And again, I've already said it, but an eye for picking stuff that just is screaming for conservation, right?
Yeah, I grabbed it on eBay from an antique shop. I don't think it's not worth anything but early Karl Barks, that's kind of cool, and Prohibition era stuff. It really kind of
very cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. So more of same in terms of the photo bleaching here was the dry or the way that I usually preach doing it coincident with a wet bath or wet?
Yeah, I actually did I think I approached it based on one of your earlier photo bleaching videos where I essentially bathed it in maybe I think a 1% solution of hydrogen peroxide and then under the blue light for half an hour each or something like that.
Perfect. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, the results speak for themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Another one.
This is when I stepped into what I felt like was the big world, So this book cost me a lot of money. It cost me $50, At the time, it seemed like a lot of money, but
that's half a tank of gas.
There you go. Yeah. And so this thing was, this is actually the second Golden Age book I ever picked up. I have a Weird Science that I haven't touched yet one day. But this is the second Golden Age book I ever picked up, and it was literally falling apart in my hands. And I was nervous about even leafing through it. And so, I did a dry clean, Archivist bath with surfactant, photo bleaching to interiors, which was difficult because I was getting a lot of unevenness in the interiors from the photo bleaching, that is. Tear seals to the interior and the cover, and then a press. And if you want to go to the next slide, you can see the before and after on that.
You got it, Phil. Thanks. Yeah, what a transformation.
Love it.
And
love to see that.
This book, how do you get this book for $50? I mean, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. There's an art just to finding the right projects. And
absolutely.
I would not have found this one. Well, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit, but I'm impressed that you found this one. Let me put it.
Is it missing the centerfold, or is it just?
No, it's a complete book. No, I got it.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's incredible, and obviously beautiful work.
Thank you. I don't have a screenshot of it, so hold on. Let me see if I can find it real fast here. All right. This is one of the books I did send to CGC.
Yeah, here actually, let's do this. Yeah. So for those of you that haven't seen, this is a 2.5 conserve. This is one of the ones that Jason just opened recently in that video that I recommend everybody watch. Very fun and like I said, very sort of heartwarming as well.
Thank you.
The cover was cleaned on this.
Yeah.
And and everyone take note on how vibrant and nice those reds still look after he washed that cover.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's great.
So you can go to the next slide, I think. Yeah. So America's Best Comics, number 15. Again, a dry clean, Archivist bath with surfactant, photo bleaching of the interior, not the exterior though. Tear seals to interior and cover. Small. This is I think I did my not my first. I actually went through a trial and error with the Sensation comics that I had laying around as far as leaf casting. But this was I think maybe the next book I did with leaf casting, and then a hot press. And there was
comics you just had laying around. You just have Golden Age comics laying around.
Well, I found a deal. I must have gotten it for I don't know, like $20 or something like that. And it had a huge rat hole in the middle of it.
I remember.
Yeah. And then it also had conservation tape on it, which is the first time I had encountered that, but it didn't look that great. And it looked like someone had attempted to fix it up at one point. Maybe it was in even worse condition than this, because it looked like it had tape not just conservation tape, but actual tape, like Scotch tape on the spine. But
yeah, this was your first tape removal book, right?
No, it wasn't the first tape removal. Actually, the Contact comic had lots of tape on every page.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, this also had tape on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the next slide, see what that before and after looks like. There you go.
Nice.
Huge.
When they came back, it was a...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, let's just do this. I got the solos.
Sweet.
3.0 conserved. Beautiful. Yeah. What more to say, right?
Yeah. The interior of the cover I'm still not happy with, but you can't see it, so I just got the cover. So yeah. So whatever. Yeah. So
where's Pyro Man?
He's not in there.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
They just couldn't
Missing
put him
in
on
action.
the cover.
Yeah. The Grim Reaper, or the what's his name? Is it the Grim Reaper? I can't remember his name. But yeah, they don't always have all the characters on the cover, unfortunately. But
yeah.
So we're going to go to the next one.
Sweet book.
Thank you.
Planet.
So yeah, this was man, this thing killed me. So Larry did this, the same book, in a much better condition than the one I try to work on. His was much more vibrant. But I figured, let me see what
you got tape all for this, I see too.
Yeah.
That's going to complicate things a bit.
It was a pain in the butt.
This one was a mess.
Yeah. So again, dry clean, aqueous bath with surfactant, tear seals to interior, leaf casting to cover, hot press, lots of tape removal. Not a fun book, but I did extensive leaf cast. This was the first time I did a lot of leaf casting. This book is not finished yet in my mind. One day I want to go back to it and do it justice. But if you want to go to the next slide.
This was spot casting without a vacuum table.
That's right.
So what many of us are calling the professor method, because Peter's doing really a lot of work without a vacuum. Well, all work without a vacuum table and getting great results.
Yeah. So I had to make up for, I misjudged the width of the cover when it was folded around the wraps. So I tried to make up with it by adding more material to the right of the cover. So I am not happy with that. But the problem is that leaf cast is holding that center so many pieces from that tape that pulled it all apart, a jigsaw. And so it was not a good choice, in my opinion, to try to remove the leaf cast. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the leaf cast from that right side and then cut the spine in half and then just fill it in where the leaf cast is at, because it's all held together with leaf cast anyhow. So there's not a full spine there anyhow. So
gotcha.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah. So if you want to go to the next, So
cover, love it.
Yeah, great cover.
This book's nostalgic. This is one of like maybe 20 books when I worked at the comic store back in Massachusetts when I was a kid, that I remember walking in and my manager would be like, "Hey, I threw some ECs in your box." And I go in, and one day there was a Vault of Horror and this one. They're both $20 a piece, and they were probably about like VG copies or like VG Minus copies. And so when I see this cover, I'm always like very nostalgic. And
have you read the story?
Would. I remember reading it when I had the copy, but it's been
it's crazy. So
20 years since I've read it now.
Yeah, essentially it's these space explorers. They their ship is going out of commission and they need to land real fast, and they land on a planet that has humanoid looking individuals, and the captain decides he needs to stay behind because he's fallen in love with this beautiful woman. And so he tells the ship to go on without him, and they do. And they're like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And he marries her, and he's madly in love with her, but then doesn't understand that these humanoid individuals, within a portion in their lifespan, they swap gender. And so one morning he wakes up and she's a man, and she expects him, or he expects him to transform his gender. And she's like, okay, come on. And then that's how it ends. Really.
It says I don't have the right parts anymore.
Right. But it's gained some, I guess you would say, maybe notoriety, or because of the
more social relevance today.
Yeah.
Morris, this is the before. So he actually purchased, this is the state in which he purchased it. So he cracked this and worked on it.
That's correct.
We'll
That's
talk
correct.
more about that in a moment.
Yeah. So I got this 2.5. I think I paid $80 for it, $90 for it, or something like that. It was going on eBay. I went to the store. If you can find the store, for the people who are selling on eBay, if they have one, do so, because you usually get a better deal.
Sure.
So I thought this was going to be really easy. I thought all I have to do is at 2.5 just for the pencil on the cover. That's ridiculous, you know? So,
I've never heard that before.
and it wasn't. So I crack it open and I start erasing, and I'm like, what is going on with this spine here? And the spine on the bottom left-hand side was actually flaking away. And I was like, oh, crap. What am I going to do here? So dry clean, aqueous bath with surfactant, photo bleaching, tear seals to interior and cover, and hot press. But quite a bit of the tear seals are to the bottom part of the spine. So we want to turn
Can I ask just a quick question before we flip? So this book, based on the label I'm looking at, I'm going to make a guess that it was graded sometime 15 to 20 years ago.
Probably, yeah.
Right. So based on that and the creamed off-white pages, would you say that it's likely that the paper degradation that you encountered in the bottom left was just because it's been sitting for 15 years longer and it's just natural? Do you think it was this grade was maybe a little bit of a little gifty from CGC initially, and maybe it was a little slightly brittle?
Honestly, I brought this book to the forum, and everyone was confused because it was just brittle in that corner, and I don't know why.
Was it just hand cover?
No, the cover looked fine. Other than that, so I don't know. It was just that area.
Wasn't it water damage?
Yeah, maybe minimal, not very much. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with it, honestly, but it was very bizarre. I did bring it to the forum. You guys really helped me out a lot, but even you guys were pretty stumped, I remember. And I'm like, I don't know. So if you want to go to the next slide there.
Yeah.
And that's what I got back.
Look at that.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, structurally, this thing looks mint. So, like, that's nice bump.
Look at how beautiful.
Thank you.
Jason's got good lighting, too.
Nice.
That's excellent.
So, yeah. Anyhow.
So I know this is one that you commented that you thought you created some real equity with this. I
think so.
So, I mean, I think anybody be happy to have that 6.0 conserved in their collection.
Yeah, I think it's a lot.
It's so much more.
It's got to be worth more than $80. So,
right? I mean, it's a classic. It's a Wally Wood cover. It's that's
for your books when it says an interior lightened there. Was that because the interior here had photo bleaching done in addition to the washing?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've the last couple of books I've really been moving away from photo bleaching. I still love it, and I think there's a time and a place for it, but I think I was getting a little photo bleach crazy. You know, I wanted every page to be wider than they needed to be, but now I'm just going to reserve it.
This is a pattern that I've seen, and it's not anything on you. It's more in the. I think it's exactly what you said. There's a desire to want to make it look so good, but then it's I gotta dial this back because you want it to look natural. You don't want to overdo it.
Right, and the thing is, I was cognizant of the idea that you know, I don't want it to look unnatural. So I was still kind of trying to work in that dynamic, but I felt like I was getting carried away with it. And honestly, I'm okay with books with creamed off-white covers, you know? So
I've only ever used it in my collection and on the channel for stains.
Okay. Now I know Larry for a while, and I think he's probably been moving away from it as well. I know.
Yeah.
Larry was photo bleaching, I think, every book he was working on for a little bit at least.
Yeah,
yeah. So,
the man built a cabinet for it.
And
so.
by the way, it is safe. We published the scientific, support for it being safe.
Yep.
So don't take my comments or my preferences to be, me coming after. Don't at me if you're if you're using photo bleaching.
Same here. Yeah, I don't think there's a stigma. I'm not trying to put that on. It was just more as an education for myself too, just because.
There's definitely a maturity or maybe a skill set that you reach when you're kind of working on these books that you begin to learn that less is more, and it takes. I'm beginning to find, anyways, that it's taking some practice to realize that. So,
one of the reasons that I don't do it is because the aqueous bath does whiten, does bleach, and I'm technically the calcium hydroxide is a mild bleaching agent, and I know that I remember actually there.
Oh my God!
Being a whole with Jerry, Jerry the jitterbug regarding and his commentary that it's not bleach.
It is, but
it's not bleach in the sense of Clorox bleach.
Sure,
it is in the sense of what bleach means, which is to whiten, to destroy chlorophyrs, or chromophores rather. And in that regard, I just personally, after reading the literature and after experimenting myself, rarely felt the need to do anything beyond what I was already accomplishing with aqueous bath. But Don brings up this point. I've been getting interior lightened and I don't photo bleach. And
peroxide.
This is why I'm expounding on this. Washing aqueous bath is lightening, right? And so interior lightened because you've removed what you're doing with these aqueous baths. If you're doing them properly, you're removing a bunch of contaminants. Those contaminants are the byproducts of the paper breaking down, and many of them are soluble, water soluble. So you're washing them away, and then you're neutralizing the paper, and in so doing, you're whitening the paper. What CGC calls lightening. Lightening is probably a better term than whitening, actually. So I should probably use it as well. But so I don't have any issue with this terminology if all we've done is aqueous bath. And whether you use any chemical bleaching expressly, like stronger than the calcium hydroxide, or you use photo bleaching, or you use both of them in conjunction where it is appropriate, because you have, I had like the Flash comic with the Coke stains in the centerfold that I was able to remove. Basically, they were imperceptible. They were technically, you could still see, but they were unnoticeable, I should say, to anybody, any casual reader. And, so there's a place for that. I don't use it, but I'm not against those who do for sort of general use.
I'd really just like to ask Don to clarify, if they could, just if there might be anything additional they're putting in their baths, like if it is a diluted peroxide that they're adding in, and like maybe that could be the quality. Because I'm just trying to think. I'm not sure why they would be getting interior lightened if they're not doing photo bleaching, but they're just
CGC's guessing now.
Standard bath.
But
there is still some consistency. So
when I say guessing, okay, yes, they're looking for tells, and there's, if you have other conservation work and you have nice clean paper, they're just going to throw that in there. Has been my experience. I've had some conversation with Matt about it, and they're judging it as
I think there was a book I think was in the last that order I put in that had no color lightening or any lightening at all. But I think because it was in a pack of other books that did have some lightening.
That can happen. That's the human. I can understand that human variable, but it's like there's like it's like the eye of the storm. I don't know. Like there's still some areas where there's still chaos, but there's still
And I had that happen with a book, and I reached out to Matt and I said, Matt, I want you to look at this book again. Or actually I said it a bit more humbly. I said, I didn't lighten the interior of this book. I would like for you to tell me what it was that made you think made your team think that I did, just for my own edification.
Yeah.
He said, send it back. And I sent it back. They looked at it. They told me what they saw. And I said, oh, I didn't do that. And they changed the label.
That's cool.
I don't think it mattered. I was just trying to be better educated on the way that they're looking at it and what they view as a tell.
Yeah. Right? Speaking of this book, I think they mentioned on the book that pieces were added.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, pieces were not added. But still give me a conservative.
Oh, I saw that too. You had one of those. Anything leaf casted?
I would
no leaf casting on this book.
Yeah.
So okay.
But you did have Japanese paper.
That's true.
Men's. And one of the things that Phil mentioned to me long time ago is, if you're doing anything other than kind of a lap tear, if you're filling any space in, even if it's a small space, even if it's an eighth of an inch, unless it happens to be around, I think the only place where you probably get away from maybe potentially a little 1/8-inch hole is around the staples. Anywhere else, they can consider it infill. Now, I'm not sure that that's what happened here. It could just be an error in the label. Right?
No, but that makes sense.
They make mistakes.
Yeah,
but I think that was a very interesting one to me. Don can confirm that he's using betaine, which has been popularized by the professor as well.
That could cause the interior.
Yeah, for sure.
I did see one other thing too. Collecting Chaos had brought this up. Unless, and I don't want to misspeak, but as far as I know, according to the literature, since photo bleaching's been done for a lot longer than it's being done on comic books, within the literature, there's no long-term effects for things that have been photo bleached. Is that correct?
Yeah, let's talk about it. We talk about it in the book. Basically, there are levels of photo bleaching that are safe. And I'll expound upon that. What evidence do we have? Why would I make a statement like that? Photo bleaching's been around since, like active photo bleaching, since around this first published in the 70s, but really, goes back to the history of making paper in the Western world, which is 1100 to 1400. In that period, it was used, and those papers are stable. We have books from 1600 with paper that was photo bleached as part of the preparation. Also, we have more modern science where you can perform photo bleaching, and then you can literally look at the molecular chain weight of the cellulose in the paper, and you can say that it has not degraded literally at all in terms of what we can measure with modern science. To me, that means there are levels that are safe. Now, to KK's point here, there are no doubt people using unsafe levels, and it's not documented, and you don't know. So I do think we should approach with caution. This is one of the reasons why we did so much research, why we published conservative standards within our book here, and why, I often caveat these statements. So again, the way to view it is there are absolutely scientifically proven and long-term studies shown safe levels of effective photo bleaching. There are also unsafe levels you can go to. And for folks that aren't being super judicious with their use of either chemical or photo bleaching or concurrent chemical and photo bleaching, I definitely would, can see why one would approach it conservatively and ought to. So, So my statements are really not in conflict with Collecting Chaos's position here.
Next slide.
Nonetheless, beautiful book.
Yeah, thank you. So this was one of the books I'm most proud of, I think. Exciting comics, and basically this thing was tattered. It was a complete mess. It was ripped to pieces. I think the spine was completely split. Pretty sure it was. Again, you couldn't pick through it. I dry cleaned it, aqueous bath, photo bleaching of the interior, tear seals to interior and cover. This is where I started really getting into leaf casting. I don't think I was using the vacuum table quite yet for this. I don't think so. And then a hot press for this. Maybe I was using I don't remember. Anyhow, I really love how it came out because I could actually pick it up after I was done with it. So.
Yeah. Because it was a mess.
It was. So, yeah. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What a transformation here. And, in addition to the leaf casting, which is beautiful, but
Thank you.
the repairs here, how much was actually there, but just in tatters that you were able to pull together and make this big tear on the bottom right?
Yeah, look at that bottom left here where his leg is completely gone, and then
all of that, and also the soldier's left shoulder, that whole area, the window above, just stunning conservation, beautiful, truly beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think we have we'll do the
nice
2.5 conserved, and this.
I'm so happy with it. I mean, with the 2.5 even, like,
there's
enough material missing from it, which I totally get. Yeah. But I was so happy not to get a restored label on it or a 1.0 or something like that.
Yeah. No, I think it's congratulations and a testament to your work, and
thank you so much.
To see what you started with, which really, most people would say is only fit for the recycle bin. And now you have something that you can be very proud of.
Now, I did overpay for this book, I will say. The guy was selling it. I think it was another eBay sell. I think he was originally going to 220, or maybe it was 250, and I threw in what I thought at the time because I don't think I really looked at the photos very well. I think I threw in an eBay bid of 180, not expecting him to go for that, and he was like, "Yeah, 180, sure." Then I got it. I'm like, "Oh, this is a $100 book, maybe,"
Yeah.
So whatever, but I still love doing it.
I don't think you did that badly. Yeah. I mean, I probably would have.
I might break even, I think.
I probably would have put 150, 160. Yeah. I probably wouldn't want to pay more than that for it, but that's not far off. And you know what? Exciting comics is not my core, where you're like, oh, this is where we should just settle. Is it Nedor or Neater?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with you. I'll go Nedor. Yeah.
I was going Nedor. Yeah.
All right. These Nedor books are, your bailiwicks. So I think, I pay full market prices for Golden Age All-Star books, and most other things that I'm buying, I'm only buying if it's discounted from fair market value, right? Yeah. So it's just I don't think you overpaid at 180.
It means you really like Schomburg. That's what that means. It means you're also a collector. Yeah. And you like comics as much as you like working on the books. So it's really not that bad of a thing.
No.
It just means that you're an enthusiast.
That's right. I got my value out of it.
Yeah, that's for sure, yeah.
Well, that's the important thing, too. I mean, you clearly are very proud of the work, and you should be. And just that experience that you got out of that should negate any extra money that you really spent.
I totally agree. Yep, thank you. Yeah.
What a transformation. Congrats on that one, yeah.
So those are the books I worked on. You wanted some photos of the studio as it and here's my studio. I'm sitting at that desk right now.
Yeah, there's the great light source.
Thank you.
And one of the reasons I wanted to just sort of see the layout of the studio is I wanted to talk about this copy press you have.
Yeah, these are separate rooms, by the way. So this is the photos that you have up right now.
Yeah.
That's my sunroom. This is essentially my dining room. So
yeah. And it's Owasso.
Owasso.
That's where you found this copy press.
Yes, that's
Owasso.
okay. That's how you pronounce it. Okay.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Osawa or something like that. Yeah. Owasso. Yeah, a little tiny town. I mean, not too big.
Just outside
too
Flint.
but
Yeah.
it was kind of cool. It was in this they're calling it a furniture shop, but it's actually an antique shop. And they had 2 copy presses. So if you guys need one, there's still one in Owasso. It's a smaller press, but it should do the job. And I left behind a stacks of comics from the early 80s. Now, I only knew about I don't really know my minor keys, from that era, but I did pick out that Iron Man where he's sitting with he's looking at himself in the mirror with the bottle of whiskey or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Demon in a bottle. Yeah.
Got that for $2. So I was like, I
saw that pick up. One of the greatest. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So if you're in that neck of the woods, go to that comic or that antique shop in my video and pick up the rest of the stack there. So
David Michelini. I think it may be the exact copy press that I have.
Really?
It's very similar.
So similar that I think we should maybe swap some close-up pics, and it might be the exact same model. Yeah.
There's you can make out a little bit of like sort of the intricate paint on it. Like there's a little bit of.
I've been thinking about perhaps stripping the paint from mine and refinishing it.
That'd be neat. Yeah. They are. If you go on eBay, there are some gorgeous copy presses, gorgeous from the Victorian, from the 19th century. And
I'm lucky to have mine there, and it still has it has a good amount of the original gold.
Nice.
Painting that's on really the whole thing. It's really. I mean, some of them never got used once they were used, and they just sat in antique stores for a while, and other ones were sitting outside on a saw covered in rusty, and so it's
I've seen some there's an intermediate press that's a little larger than these called the nipping press.
Okay.
And I have seen some stunningly beautiful nipping presses, just with a whole bunch of brass and gilt work and just really stunning. I mean, the ones that you and I have, they're beautiful in their own right. Those are workhorses, right?
Exactly.
Those were mass produced, and they were not at the same level.
Yeah.
I love this approach that James has here. Everyone overpays for a book at some point. The trick is to keep it long enough to earn a profit. So
there
true.
You go. Yeah,
so
good
true.
point. So here's some upcoming projects. So America's Best Comics, of course, that whole top right hand side is missing, so that's going to definitely be a leaf cast.
Beautiful.
That Flash Comics is
that's another Schomburg, the America's Best.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
yes,
beautiful.
pretty sure it is. That Flash Comics it's pretty funky. It's got some issues. So it's the only one of the very few DC books in my collection. Again, I try to get these at as much of a steal as I possibly can. So if I can get them, if I can score them for under like $200 or something like that, that's kind of the range I'm at my
That's
top.
where I would try to be with this book too. These days it's tough to find them because people want $250 to $350 for books like this in this grade, which is silly because you can get it slabbed for that or less. Why would I take the risk that it has hidden glue or a page missing?
That's where
for those prices.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah,
there's a lot of candidates to work on, but maybe at the exact minute you're looking, there isn't anything that kind of piques your interest. Give it a week or 2 weeks, something will pop up. It's inevitable.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. And then that Pep Comics. Oh, man, I just love that cover.
Awesome. Incredible.
That villain, the woman back there. I think her name is Miss Satan, but she looks like.
You think her name is Miss Satan?
I believe so. I think I looked it up, and it wasn't Miss Lucifer, so it must have been Miss Satan.
Okay.
So she.
Are the WoW people aware that you're fantasizing about Miss Satan now?
Me if they knew about that one. I would be shunned. I think they called it shunning, marked and I can't remember. It's been long. But anyways, I would have been marked. Anyhow,
I'm bringing it back, people.
Right. She reminds me a lot of what is the first female heroine? She was in Jungle Comics 2. I can't remember her name. Anyways, I love all that pre-Archie pep. That's before the red-headed bucktooth goofball got into the comics. They were pretty cool.
I should show it off soon, but I recently scored a Pep 1.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. It's restored, but I think it's a good candidate for restoration removal.
Wow.
And but this cover, again, hats off for the project selection. This cover is definitely one of the best.
Thank you. I think it'll clean up pretty good. So
yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, great pickup. Sweet books.
So we got
Rivet. Here's a Rivet Planet.
Yeah, Planet Comics number 6. It is brittle. It's falling apart as I look at it, but maybe with with a little bit of betaine and some, I don't know, a lot of leaf casting. Who knows? Maybe I can bring it back to life. So, then we got that Thrilling Comics in the middle there. It had a bad case of mold. The mold's dead. It's no longer live, but I wanted to clean that up. And then that U.S. Jones, it's U.S. Jones number 2. It was in that Fox Features Syndicate bound volume that I got.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly rare. It's probably amongst, if not the rarest, amongst the rarest of the early Fox books. So
what's the census on this?
Maybe like less than a dozen.
Wow.
There you can find U.S. Jones number 1 relatively easily, but U.S. Jones number 2 is really hard to find.
Wow.
And I actually, Phil, I may be using your services, perhaps, maybe if I can find the right interiors for this. In fact, I might have scored them tonight. We'll see. Anyhow, we'll talk later after this, maybe.
Nice. Was being from a bound copy, then it wasn't. It was like missing some stuff.
Yeah, yes, it's trimmed all the way around, of course. It's got the full interiors. However, I think I've scored a coverless copy. If so,
then there we go.
I might want a marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
Nice. Very nice.
And also the top of the covers, there's a lot of like missing graphics, but I kind of have those graphics because the guy who bound the book together, he had this weird sheet of I don't know, this weird kind of waxy paper. And when the book came apart, the parts of the waxy paper collected some of the graphics. I don't know if they're recoverable at all, but maybe.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
We'll see.
All right.
So talking about marriages, we've got Shield Wizard.
Sure.
Again, pre-goofy buckhead redhead bucktooth, Archie. On the left-hand side is the book sans the centerfold. And then I have interior wraps on the right-hand side there. And I think those wraps are trimmed because I think they did come from a bound book. So I'm going to pluck out the centerfold and leaf cast them and reinsert them into that bound, and that complete or nearly complete.
Beautiful.
Book. Yeah.
Another great. Just your project selection is impeccable.
Thank you. So we got Thunda here, Thunda number 1, which is the only book that Frank Frazetta did both the cover and the interior work for.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I was able to afford this for under $100 was this extremely.
You had to take the danger with it.
No, the danger didn't come with it. Well, yeah, there was a little danger involved. But it did not have a back cover. It was trimmed and had no back cover. So finding a back cover that matched both the outer back and the interior back was. There's only like 3 other books from.
Sometimes there isn't one.
Yeah, I think this is I can't remember who put this out. Maybe Mag. I can't remember who put it out, but very few books from this era with both the same interior and exterior back cover. This came up. It was a $30 book. It's gorgeous. I hate to pull it apart for just the back cover, but if you look on the right hand side, there is a that Daisy is a that's not the back cover. It's it's the back cover that came with the book, but it's not.
That's not correct. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I will be replacing it with that prizes. Now I still have the issue where the interiors are trimmed as well as the front cover. So there might be more work I'll have to do with that. So
Phil has had to do it a few times, and he can still sleep at night. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. If you're doing on a really big book, you just don't show anyone.
And then I think this is the book I'm going to work on after this Startling Comics that Dr. Paul got me on, and it's been a trip. But anyhow, this book,
I don't know if he started off happy with me, but he might be not. He may be actually.
Honestly, I love the journey I've been on with this book. It's been fun to work on. It's been challenging. I love it. I'm learning so much from it. So it's not like that Planet Comics where I was losing my mind. This is actually a lot of fun. But anyhow, this book will probably be my next project. The Blonde Phantom. I love this book. And it, again, was missing a back cover. I hunted and hunted trying to find a cover that would match both the interior and the exterior. Again, only like 4 other books from that year matched both that criteria.
Wow.
All of a sudden, this Mighty Mouse popped up for $10 down the road from me in Dayton, missing the front cover, had the back cover. Perfect.
That can't be beat. And great job on the detective work too.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's really, I mean, there's the thrill of the hunt, and then there's reassembling something, and it's like there's some people in the CBC forums that have been trying to find a back cover for 20 years, and then one pops up. So to get one like that, hey, hats off, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
It's going to be a great project. I'm looking forward to that. And that concludes the material you brought for us as well.
That's right.
So JSS Brooklyn joined us. He says, excellent opportunity on the Frazetta. Morris says 8 total copies of U.S. Jones #2 on the census. Wow.
Not many.
That's incredible.
Not many at all.
Books, people. They're just, they almost don't even exist. Yeah. Well, we've
AG is so right. I definitely do have a type of Gold Age book, and he knows it. I like pulpy looking stuff. I like early. I like pre-war, but also war. That's definitely my feel in that era.
Yeah. It's incredible that you really just started your journey into Golden Age, and that you're doing it in this way is a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. I owe it all to you guys. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys, and I just so much gratitude for everything that you guys have taught me, the patience that you've had with me, and I'm so blessed to be part of this community. I really, really am. I'm so glad I found it, and it's been so much fun. I mean, so many generous and so many kind people, and
huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!
Yes, tap your. There you go.
I mean that genuinely. And I love seeing this.
You guys have been all of you guys have been great. And I've learned so much from everything that you guys do. So appreciative. Really, really am.
Well, people that have been on the channel for a while know how important I think just recognizing our good fortune, having gratitude, having appreciation for all of the things that we are fortunate to have around us is, I think, just one of the most important things to do in your life. I think it grounds you. I think it sets your expectations. I think in many ways it sets like your fate. It sets how you're going to view the world, how you're going to interact with it, and how you're going to proceed. So I will say in response, I'm happy to have contributed in the way that I have and in the way that we have to this community. But I'm also just personally thankful that my body of work has found an audience, and that it's an appreciative audience.
Yeah.
I'm also especially thankful for Phil saying we should be doing a show, because I was thinking we should do a show, but in my mind I was like, when we're ready, we'll do a show.
Right.
And Phil,
if you wait till we're ready, we'll be dead. So when Phil
said we should do a show, I was like,
yeah.
Phil was also saying we should do a show like when we're ready, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, if I've already thought it and he's thinking it, we're already ready. We're doing the show. We just need to fill it out, flesh it out, and sort of. I'm so thrilled with where it's at and where this community's at, and so I know we've kept everybody. This is a long episode.
Sorry about that.
I really appreciate. No, don't apologize at all. I had a wonderful time.
Okay.
So, sometimes we go a little long, and I'm like, we long. But actually, I thought this flows really well.
People
I never
like 3-hour long ones. I'm not saying we do that, but
I do. I love it when you guys go long, so I don't mind it at all.
I thought the flow of this was, I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of this. I did not think it was slow or dragged on. So no apologies necessary, at least from my perspective. But I do want to say I appreciate everybody hanging with us for so long. Yeah. Let's wrap up. Thank you, JSS Brooklyn, for the super chat.
Thank you, John.
You are joining the list of sponsors for next episode, which stands at 4. Thank you so much.
Go for infrared.
AG says, Jason's a reflection of a lot on you good folks mentoring him on his journey. That's very sweet of you to say.
I've met so many great, a lot of friends. I've made a lot of friends for this journey, and I think that's really something I was not expecting at all. And so, yeah.
It's very gratifying, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Jim, welcome. Glad
it's funny how within the
here. And Girl 3K too. I don't think I said hi when you checked in earlier. Great.
I was just gonna say, like, within the comic community, it is noteworthy that you say that, because there is such a pure attitude that we're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, when we're here talking about the stuff, we're not here being like, I don't know, there's a spine nick on the spine. What do you think? I don't think there's only 3 here. No, I don't know, it's a 9.6, it's a 9.8, and we're like pulling our hair out over things that matter, but isn't the thing that matters the most. And like, we get down to like part of what we feel like matters the most.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the negative, dirty side of the collecting community, which you always find.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look
hard enough, I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that, Jason. A little bit of the credit I will take on that.
You do. No, Dr. Paul, you followed that.
We've curated the Facebook group, and we've removed those elements. In fact,
that's awesome.
I was motivated to start the Facebook group because of that. Yeah. And to create a sandbox that was a little more friendly.
That's great.
And so I'm happy that you're viewing it that way, that's your experience, because that was my stated goal. And I mean, I didn't think we needed a new Facebook group. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just lost both the guys simultaneously, or if I'm not going anymore.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah.
Am I? I just lost you and Jason simultaneously.
Oh, weird.
Okay. Well, maybe we should say goodbye while we still, have a connection. Again, thank you so much to my regular co-host, Phil. Thank you so much to our special guest host, Jason, the Archivist.
Hey.
Check out his channel if you haven't already. I don't know how you haven't, but please sub him and check out the recent unboxing and check out his upcoming work. Thank you again to our sponsors for this show. Speaking of checking out channels, go check out Don Carter, AG, Salesboy Comics, You Plucked My Last Nerve. Thanks again for next week's sponsors, Collecting Chaos, Salesboy Comics, You Plucked My Last Nerve, and JSS Brooklyn. Thank you all so much for being with us here. And until next time, take care of one another.
Freeze frame.